For someone like him who needed to win that night, he heard that phrase about 14 times, and while casino owners don't like this legal strategy, a talented person was able to do what everyone else cannot. Die in the midst of this complexity. The person who earned over $600,000 by counting cards or memorizing the deck used team signals, where putting hands behind the back meant the game was going well. Touching the eye meant they needed to talk, and brushing the hair all the way back meant they needed to leave immediately. Currently, a young man named Ben is applying for the Robinson Scholarship, which selects only 1 out of 76 applicants for Harvard Medical School. He explained to the professor that his dream since childhood was to get into Harvard. And though he has been accepted, he needs the scholarship due to financial difficulties. However, the professor said that just wanting it isn't enough. The scholarship is for those who truly distinguish themselves in life. So Ben mentioned he is competing in a robotic wheel invention competition. The professor made an awkward comment that a one-legged Korean student won it last year. When Ben said he has both legs, the professor jokingly asked if he should have one cut off to get the scholarship. Ultimately, the professor said he wanted to hear a surprising essay about life-changing experiences. When Ben went to work at a clothing store, the new manager warned him about his appearance and negotiated a wage of $8 per hour, leading his friend Miles to jokingly say he should also apply. When asked why he was unhappy despite a promotion, Ben lamented that he had nothing to write for his scholarship essay. His friend told him not to say that since he had always been helpful. Ben had worked harder than others since age 16, and having done almost everything except being with a girl, the $300,000 cost for tuition and living became a barrier, making him lose faith in the idea that people are more important than money. While celebrating Ben's birthday with a few people, Miles, who had drunk 19 cups of coffee to find an answer for their science project, reminded him to focus, as they didn't have money for dates or trips, only this competition. However, being young men who wanted to date girls, the three of them looked at each other and shouted how useless they felt. When he went out with his mother, she told Ben, who had no rest because of the 2.09 competition, to make time for fun since he was already 21. In Professor Mickey's class, when asked if someone could explain how to use Newton's formula, Ben questioned it by saying Newton actually stole that formula. He explained Joseph Raphson invented that method 50 years prior but couldn't prove it. The professor, impressed by this niche knowledge of the 1700s, asked for his name and challenged him to a game to recognize his intellect, showing 3 different doors, with a car behind one and goats behind the other 2. Ben was asked to choose and he guessed door number 1. The host, who knew what was behind the doors, opened door number 3 to reveal a goat and then asked if Ben still wanted to stay with door number 1. When asked how to tell if the host was trying to trick him, Ben replied based on math. Originally he had a 33.3% chance, but with a door revealed, the variable changed his odds to 66.7%, so he chose door number 2 and thanked the host for the extra 33.3% chance. The impressed professor praised him, saying it was exact. While most people are filled with fear and anxiety over such questions, Ben removed emotion and used simple math, winning the new car, after which the professor checked the scribble on Ben's paper. Despite being capable in everything, Ben still didn't have a girlfriend. He liked a girl named Jill Taylor, and Miles encouraged him to go for it. While Ben was studying in the library at night, an upperclassman called him a genius and told him to follow. When they arrived at a room, the professor, who was writing numbers on a board, told Ben to just call him Mickey. He explained that Ben was brought there because he found a better way to solve for 0 than Newton. Among those introduced 1 by 1, he saw Jill Taylor, the girl he liked. Then Mickey asked him if he had ever played blackjack. He explained it as a simple game where the person closest to 21 with 2 cards wins, and going over 21 means a loss. Ben quickly grasped the intellectual nature of the game and asked if they were talking about card counting, to which Mickey replied it was a way to make a lot of money. When asked when and where they played, he explained it was in Las Vegas on weekends, and they wanted to recruit Ben because a member named Jimmy had gotten a job at Google. Ben asked why anyone would work at Google if they could make so much money here, and Mickey replied that Google isn't exactly a roadside diner. They tried to persuade him saying the work suited him and was fun, but Ben declined, saying it wouldn't work because he had just been promoted and wouldn't have time. Mickey advised Ben to drop the 2.09 competition, saying Ben's fundamental logic and extreme composure meant he was born for this game. Despite the rejection, Mickey told Ben he was his favorite student but sternly warned him not to tell anyone about their conversation. The next day, while Ben was calculating prices for customers mentally at the store, Jill came and watched him with amusement, asking him to help her find a tie. She revealed she came to talk about blackjack, saying he could make more money than he thought and that going to Vegas was a way to let go of all his mundane jobs.